Hey y'all, so I'm gonna upload this video too tonight. I'm home now, and I think I told y'all a couple videos back that or a few videos back that at this job the med aides do not get the blood sugars, which I've worked at other places as a med aide before, and I've always gotten people's blood sugar, but I just couldn't do the insulin as a med aide. So I thought that was kind of interesting why, like, at this place, the med aides don't check the blood sugars, even though that is in our scope of practice. The nurse do. And I found out the reason is because the facility gets paid more if a nurse signs off that they checked the blood sugar. I never heard of that before. So to me, I don't think they do that at other facilities, because if that's the case, you would think that all facilities would do that. I don't know though, because there have been times where I checked the blood sugar and I only typed the number. So the blood sugar was 200. I typed 200 in the computer, but the nurse that was working over me would sign it. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But to me, that's just so crazy. So there's other things, like, let's say if a patient is on blood pressure medicine, and we have to check their blood pressure before we give the medication, because if their blood pressure is not at the standard that it needs to be, we hold the medication. So let's say it might say on the MAR, like, if patient's blood pressure is 110 or under, don't give them the medication, hold it. So I checked the blood pressure. They say now at this facility, they don't even want us doing that. They want the nurse to sign off for the blood pressure medicine. So they want the nurse to, that's the reason the nurse checks the vitals too. Because I remember telling y'all, like, at this facility, the CNAs don't really get the vital signs, which I've never seen that before. I never, they have the nurses do it. Now I think that's another thing, is because if a nurse signs off that they took the blood pressure or whatever instead of a CNA or a med aide, apparently the facility gets paid for it. I didn't know that was a thing. Of course, I'm not work on the business side of healthcare. I'm on the direct patient care side. So I don't know about all of that. So that was just kind of crazy to me. Now, if you want to get technical with it, okay, at other places though, the CNAs are the ones getting the vital signs. Most places don't have nurses get vital signs. It's the CNAs that do that. However, the nurses are the ones that, like, document them in the computer. So technically, isn't that false documentation? Because the nurse didn't get these vital signs, the CNA did. So it's like the nurse is getting credit for it when they're not the ones that check these vital signs. We are. Now, there, on the rare occasion, I mean very rare occasion, I have worked with a nurse that actually likes to check her own vital signs. Because one time, this was my first time working with her. This was like a year back. And I was like, I already got the vital signs. Because I knew, like, there was these other nurses, they would, like, as soon as they got there, can you get my vitals? Like, before you could put your stuff down, can you get my vital signs? And so I would just automatically go ahead and get them, because that got on my freaking nerves. So I would go ahead and get them as soon as I could, so they could stay out my face about that. Well, this was my first time working with, she was like an African nurse. And she was like, I said, oh, here go your vitals. And she was like, oh, I get my own vital signs. I said, what? And she was like, oh, it's not, I don't mean to offend you or nothing. It's just I like to get my own vitals. And me and the other CNA was like, well, honey, you ain't defending me. Hell, we wish all nurses was like that. So anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, isn't that false documentation? Because if the CNA is the one that's actually getting the vitals, shouldn't the CNA be the one documenting, getting the credit for it? I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not like, we getting paid anymore for doing them or nothing like that. So it's really not, I don't really care up that much about it. It don't make no difference in our pay or nothing. But I'm just saying, like, they want to talk about false documentation and this and that. Technically, is that not false? I mean, if you want to get technical with the shit, is that not false documentation? The nurse didn't get these vital signs. And I remember, I'm going to say this and I'm going to go, y'all. This was a long time ago, back when I was working at that place that I told y'all about that got shut down. I was working there through agency. I remember one time when I was working there on first shift, the nurse, immediately, as soon as we got there, me and the other CNA, and we were on a very busy floor, he was like, "Hey y'all, these are my vital signs." He wanted a full set of vitals on each patient. He was like, "I need them as soon as possible because some of these are for blood pressure medicine." And I promise you, I don't have nothing against nurses, but some nurses are just so fucking lazy. Like, if you need a blood pressure on a patient because of a medication, why don't you just fucking check it right before you give the medication? Why can't you do that? And he was like, "I need them as soon as possible." Like, we ain't even had a chance to walk down the hall to do a round to check on our patients, to at least peep our door in their room to see what they looking like. Nothing. Just automatically, "I need them as soon as possible." Motherfucker, if you don't get out my face. Like, what? We are not your slave. Like, I can see like the other vital signs. Okay, we'll get those when we can. You're not gonna say, "Oh, I need them as soon as possible." It's not that serious. If it's that serious, then you fucking get them. Like, we have a whole hall of people. We have to answer call lights. We have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, child. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I'm gonna go. I promise. I remember, this is actually at my PRN job. This happened a couple months ago, where this nurse, she was not busy at all. This particular nurse gets done with her med pass within like 30 minutes because she works on the long-term care side. So for the most part, the patients, they stay the same. It's not like rehab where they change a lot. And she knows the patients very well because she works there full time. So she knows them, she gets through her med pass like that. You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't behind on her work. It wasn't no emergency, because if it was that kind of situation, I can see her, asking the CNA to do that, because, but it was not that kind of situation. She was not behind on her work or anything like that. So somehow, how in a nursing home, each patient has their own water cup, right? So I don't know how she did it, but I guess she accidentally spilt the patient's water cup somehow. Accidents happen. Now, do y'all know she gonna tell the CNA, we're gonna call her Ashley. She said, "Ashley, can you get we're gonna call him Mr. Jackson. Can you get Mr. Jackson some fresh water in his cup? I spilled his water cup." Excuse me, ma'am? You accidentally, spilled Mr. Jackson's water cup. So you're not disabled. You are a whole nurse, so you're well and able. Why can't you take your ass? Maybe it only takes like 15 steps to get to the kitchen from where she was at. Why can't you take your ass to the kitchen and get him some water yourself? You're the one that spilled it. I don't understand that. You spilled Mr. Jackson's water cup. You spilled it by accident. Why do I don't know, maybe that's just me, but to me that was, because I can't imagine, even like if I'm working as a med aid and I accidentally bump into the water cup and spill it. Like I said, I'm not behind on my work. There's no kind of emergency going on, you know what I'm saying? And I asked the CNA to get him some more water because I spilled his water cup. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just my opinion. But to me, that's crazy as hell. To me, that's crazy. Now I can see if there was an emergency going on, or the nurse was just behind on her work for whatever reason. There was a lot of shit going on, and the CNA is just sitting there on their phone not doing shit. Then yeah, can you go ahead and give him some more water? Yeah. But this, like I said, this particular nurse, she gets done with her med pass like clockwork. Like within damn near like 45 minutes, she is done with her med pass, and she's sitting down at the computer charting or whatever. So to me, that was, I don't know, that to me that was a little fucked up. That's just, maybe I'm wrong, but in my opinion, the nurse should have got the fucking water. Come on now, you the one that spilled it. Like, anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go upstairs, take a shower, and I'll see y'all the next time.